everyone here. Hello.
That's a healthy amount of sauce. I like it.
Dude.
It's good for your bones.
Fuck, how am I gonna do this properly?
Wait, your voice
Yeah,
sounds
look.
deep as fuck.
Yes. Yes.
Hell yeah, dude.
Alright, good job. Wait, you sound so different, like, on your phone compared to Discord.
Yeah, because this mic shit is fuck, bro.
Yeah, right. Right, good effort, good effort.
Hello. Welcome to Pisslo episode 10.
Thank you. Alright.
Jesus.
Hello and welcome to Pisslo episode 10. We're here with Le Pixie, limit testing, manager Andrew, and BSV Josh. To start things off before we get into any of the Div3, Div2 stuff, did you want to talk about what you're doing with Inhouses lately, Limit?
Yeah, sure. So, working on like an in-house bot type thing, similar. I suppose the idea is from like the OC in-house server that unfortunately is not very active anymore. Not sure why. I think like maybe the owners just aren't really doing much with it at the moment. But because of that, there's sort of like a rift that can be filled, and I found the bot online made by I think his name's Mr. Tolkien or something like that. He's like he was a caster in EU, and he made like a bot for the LCS and the LEC to use for like in-houses, and he put it up like open source for free on GitHub. So I sort of followed the tutorials, downloaded it, set up like Ubuntu instead on my laptop, not my laptop, my PC, and I kind of just run it at the moment. You know, like it's called a Docker container, which is basically just like provides a runtime environment for the bot to run in, because it doesn't interact like with like Windows or anything like that. And yeah, so we have at the moment, it's just in the test server. We haven't really done anything with deployment yet. It's coming, but we still want to figure out a few things first. But yeah, so we got like dedicated queues. We got Oriana bot integration. So we got like Iron to Plat queue, and then we have Diamond Plus. And then obviously, if you want to play with mates and stuff, then like we're not going to discourage that. So we also have an open queue. Oriana bot will automatically assign the roles, and the bot itself will track all the stats and stuff from the game, and everyone will have their own MMR rating based on their win rate. So after a certain amount of time, the matches should be relatively balanced. At the moment, when we're testing it, it's pretty unbalanced because it's mostly just random. But once it gets launched and everyone's like MMR gets updated after each game, it'll be a lot better. And yeah, so if you want to get involved, you can DM me. Or actually, I might ask Jep to put an invite link in like the description or something for people to join.
Yeah,
Because we just do like tests every weekend at the moment. We're running a session tonight, doing another one, or tonight being Friday. We're doing another one on Saturday, Sunday, and then obviously when this comes out, which will probably be like either Saturday or Sunday, then we'll do another one on that next Friday, Saturday, Sunday, etc. Like we'll just probably do them on the weekends for the moment until I can figure out a way to like get it working without having to host it on my own PC, which should involve hosting and stuff. But that won't really happen until I figure out all the bugs, because it's at the moment pretty buggy.
Yeah.
There's a lot of ways that people can break it.
So, do you have an idea what you're gonna like? At the moment, it's on the test server. Do you
Yeah.
have an idea where it is gonna be officially? Are you just gonna make like a separate server, or turn the test server into like the actual one?
Nah, so I've got a deployment server at the moment, that I've sort of made, and that's gonna be where it's gonna end up getting launched at. So yeah, it'll be on its own server. I won't like repurpose the test one. But yeah, so if you're interested in playing some in-houses, either open or whatever your rank is, then click on the invite link in the description, and yeah, we'll get you set up.
Yeah, alright. Well, going into some of the Div2 stuff then, I think most of the games this week were like pretty predictable who were gonna win, I think. Like, I think the only ones that we got wrong were the ones that we changed because we all had the same predictions. Did you guys
Yeah.
watch the on-screen stream games or like want to comment on any of the games that were played?
I didn't see them.
Like, I'm never around
Yeah, no, I
when
had
the
to
games are on. Otherwise, I'd be playing them.
I had to work this Tuesday, so I didn't get to see the ones this week. Well, if you guys want to talk about any of the games specifically, Ronolod have officially dropped out, I believe, and according to one of the ex-Storm Bulls players, they were offered their spot in Div2, but I believe they declined.
They never actually answered the question.
Oh, okay.
It was offered to them that they would take Ronalod's current score at that point in time, which was 06. So essentially denying them a chance at playoffs unless by some miracle, grace of God, they actually won every week thereafter 2-0 in Div2.
Yeah.
It was unlikely that they would they would even have a chance.
Yeah, fair enough, fair enough. Well,
So anyone that versus those teams now just gets a bye or a free win, essentially.
Yeah. So, I don't know, do we know if the top 8 are like locked in yet? Well, there's still some room for change, I think, right?
Not yet. There's 10 teams. So there's obviously still some room for changes to happen. So I think I would like to see. I don't think we've seen everything from the Weekend Warriors team yet. I still think they have a lot more to give. So I do hope that they get themselves a playoff spot now in Div 2, considering there's only 9 teams competing for 8 spots. They just have to not come last, and they can get out of groups.
Yeah, I mean, in my head, Academy should be able to at least beat Corbap. I don't know if those 2 teams have come up against each other yet. They might have already, but I don't know. Hopefully the Academy team can make it into the top 8. Speaking of ex-Storm Wolves players, or current Storm Wolves players, what do you guys think of the new Storm Wolves roster?
The
What roster?
transition, though.
That was
What
a good
roster?
transition. What they got? Oh, it's hard for me to look on my Discord while I'm doing this, but it was
hang on.
Optimistic, Shuri, Arcane, Genzo, and one other person that I'm forgetting. He had like a weird name, right?
So they originally. Okay, so this changed again. So that's week. So I'm looking at the wrong one.
His name was Doesn't Matter. Yeah.
Yeah, so they submitted Shuri for top, Optimistic for jungle, mid doesn't matter, ADC's Genzo, supporters Arcane. None of those players actually, well, I don't think a majority of those players played. They subbed in Envy last minute, which no one was really aware of. Yeah, I would have liked to have seen Arcane and Genzo play, because I know Arcane is a fairly strong support. So actually would have been good to see him play, but it was a shame we didn't get to.
Yeah, so a version of their roster played one game, and they were DQ'd afterward. Because the reason that I've been told is because they confirmed that they could use players from an admin in DMs and not a ticket. I don't know if you can comment on that.
So the issue was they didn't follow due process that was advised to them in terms of adding in a substitute player. And it was found that the captain had edited their roster submission, but admins weren't notified. So we were looking into it and we realized, hey, they're using someone that we didn't approve, in which case it was Envy, so they lost that game. We did give them the opportunity to find someone else to play. They didn't let us know in time, so they forfeited the second match of the night as well. They and didn't end up playing another game.
Yeah, I saw that. It was a bit of a shame.
Sorry?
It was a bit of a shame that we didn't get to see the second game
Yeah.
played at all. They actually ruined my pick'ems, so I'm sort of annoyed at that.
Unlucky.
Okay, so Pixie, tell us about our roster this week, mate.
About our roster
Yeah,
in terms of like who played and whatnot.
yeah. Who played and why?
Man, I can't remember who played. I'm pretty sure. So I was top, obviously. Jet was jungle. Our mid for the first game was Michael, and we had G Bear and Sparky bot lane, I believe,
Yes.
for game one. And then game two was another fucking kerfuffle, and we had myself top, Jeb jungle, G Bear got back on mid, and we had the famous Matty Sparky bot lane. But yeah, it didn't quite go the way we wanted. First game was actually quite close until we sort of scuffed one fight up, and then sort of it just snowballed out of control from that one fight. I mean, it was in that moment, it was quite evident that one of their players was not a gold player. But
Okay,
anyway,
well, aside from that, right? That game was very winnable.
It was. This is what was frustrating. Like, I know definitely for myself. Like, first game was winnable, and we just didn't capitalize the way we should have. And yeah, it is what it is. Like,
I just want to say that G-Bear, I didn't know G-Bear to be an ADC, but I think Galaxy Bear did really well holding his own in that lane. I saw the end game stats, and I was actually quite surprised.
I'll tell you what, he can throw out a good Ezreal Q. I'm telling you that much.
Okay, well, you
Civ.
played Sim at that game.
He
Um,
played Siva.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Andrew, why don't you tell us about G-Bear's AD history?
Oh god. So, how long ago was it? What, a year and a half ago? 2 years ago now?
Yeah, probably.
Before Shiny became a thing, GB used to be an ADC mid. He was ADC for the best part of 3-4 years, I'd say at least. As long as I've known him. I've always known him to be an ADC rather than a mid laner. I still think he's pretty shit at mid lane, to be honest, compared to his AD carry, but it is what it is.
Yeah, no, that's fairly accurate. Yeah, so G-Bear made the role swap to mid lane a couple of years ago because we had Shiny come in as AD and we were lacking anyone to play mid lane, so G-Bear volunteered to role swap. But he can still play AD
That-
decently.
Is really slack.
What?
It was
Who
either
was
that or I
playing
was
in mid
gonna
lane
be
at the
mid.
time?
Oh wait, were you mid lane at the time?
Yeah, he
I
was,
wasn't
yeah.
even on the team at that time, I don't think. Was I?
I don't remember. Before Andrew, it was Titan though.
Okay, no, I was there with Titan. That
Yeah,
wasn't...
well, I had to replace him.
Okay. Wait, so yeah, Andrew played mid. Why did you stop playing mid then, Andrew?
Currently lacking in the mid lane.
Huh? That wasn't the reason.
It was due to my work schedule getting in the way of me being able to play and properly put time and effort into actually getting better.
Well, that might make a bit more sense than what you said before. But yeah.
I'm using your words.
Okay, so either way, G-Bear can play ADC somewhat competently, but yeah. It wasn't the ideal roster situation because after like not having a computer for 2 weeks or whatever, Shiny got his computer back, played a week, and has had to take some personal time off. So I'm hoping he's back before finals if we're gonna have a chance.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Personally, I didn't find it annoying that we weren't able to make the roster change. I found it annoying that we weren't able to, but Storewolves were able to bring in like 4 new players that had never played for their team before, more so. So the reason that we weren't able to is because we used all 8 players on our sub list, which is fair enough. And yeah, I think that Storewolves should have been held to the same standards personally and made to use like the core players, which from my understanding is the reason that they got the spot over Orphans, Will, etc. But then they just bench Argonaut and Greg immediately. I don't know. What's everyone else thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think that he might have tried to game the system a little bit there, and was probably not entirely honest about who he was going to have playing. But yeah, it's kind of hard to police that, right? Because it's not like you know who he's going to have beforehand. Like you only know what he's told you, and then if that changes, well, that's why they got DQ'd, I guess, right?
They weren't DQ'd for that reason. As far as
Oh.
I know, admins said that they could use most of the like all the players that they put on their actual roster submission thing, aside from Envy.
Oh, I see.
So yeah, I think
All I will say is that it didn't really work out in their favor. So
true, I suppose.
yeah.
Well, there wasn't much else to talk about this week. Uh, while we have Josh on, do you guys have any questions for him?
Do you have any plans for like off the circuit that you can share?
So without trying to reveal too much, I think it's going to be a good time to reflect on what we've done this year, especially in this circuit, the things that we've done wrong, the things that we did well, and ultimately put that towards providing, an even better experience next time, and maybe just look at changing the way that we run things. That's I think that's all I will say for the moment.
Okay, fair enough.
What's your opinion on the divisions being balanced or not at the moment? So at the start, you guys came in with like a plan where you could move teams up or down, which, as far as I know, hasn't happened yet, and I don't know how it would work if it did happen. But yeah, just like, do you think the divisions are balanced? I guess, yeah.
Balancing a division like 30 teams of varying divisions like and ranks with no set restrictions wasn't an easy task by any means. Like you can look at some of these teams and just see the ranks of them. Like you'll get there's some plat teams with some silvers and golds, and then in Div2 you have a couple of plat players with diamonds, like D4, D3, and then Div1 it's like master tier challenger, diamond, high plat. Putting everyone in a fair spot so they can play at a reasonable skill level to their true rank is a difficult task. But we tried to balance it as best we could by the average MMR of the team. And as we all know, made some things really close. Like there are some teams that are 6-0 in both the divisions at the moment. And that's something we'll look at for next time as well, of how we balance the teams. There was a few different systems, but I think the MMR one stood out for us this time. But we might use something different next time. We might use multiple things. But yeah, that's how we sort of came about it. Yeah, look, I think for the most part they're genuinely balanced as best they can.
Yeah, fair enough. I don't really have any other questions prepared personally. Pixie, Limit, Andrew, you guys got anything?
Nah, I just had the one. Just wanted to sort of see what was going to happen afterwards.
All right. Well, is there anything that you want to talk about, Josh?
Um, what else is on this list?
Anything that you personally want to clarify? I've not got anything in mind.
So I guess the interesting one on here is the story of ECB.
Oh God.
That's on this list that I have.
Yeah, well, do you guys want to go into that? We may as well. It's been brought up.
Who brought it up?
What do you mean? I guess it just came up naturally. Andrew, what are your thoughts on ECB? Tell us how it started.
No. This was that was your project from the start.
Okay, mate. I'll tell everyone how it started, and you can talk about the end then, or
Oh,
Pixie
God,
can
yeah,
talk
sure.
about the end. Uh, so it started with Ubi wanting to do tournaments for the community, but he didn't want to be the face of it, so he chose Kusho to be the quote-unquote face, and gave him like control of some of the like accounts and stuff. And when one person has control of accounts or a Discord server, it's hard for uh, other people to do the things that they need to uh, without having his permission, I
I
suppose.
think the idea behind that was so people can't people that aren't necessarily well known to them or people that aren't fully trustworthy can't come in and fuck shit up, so to speak.
Yeah, well, I mean, at the start it went well, right? Like, I at least got along with Kusho. I don't really know what happened towards the end, but there ended up being some disagreements with like it was basically Kusho versus the world for the most part. Sometimes it was Kusho and one or two people versus everyone else, but
Yeah.
uh, in the end, we ended up getting locked out of a bunch of accounts and a bunch of staff left. But I don't know if it really affected the participants as much as it affected the staff or not. What do you guys think?
I think the tournament still ran relatively fine. Um, I can't speak from a participant's perspective because I never participated myself, but from the outside looking in, the tournament's looking to be ran fairly well, apart from the fact that the staff couldn't do a couple of things, more so with the Battlefy and Discord, without having to jump through a crap ton of hoops, and sometimes you just weren't able to jump through the hoops at all. So you'd just be stuck improvising, and that's where sort of shit would start to go downhill. Um, I can't think of a specific example to be perfectly honest, but it I don't know, just not having access to them accountability, and specifically or particularly when Kusha wasn't exactly interested in helping out at all. He'd go completely over. We had a roster system set up, and I'd say probably about 70 to 80% of the time, the people that were actually rostered on, wouldn't show up or would just do nothing.
It worked. It worked really well for the first, let's say, first half, where people would actually turn up. But the problem was with most of the tournaments we run, half of our admin team play, or I'm being actually quite lackluster here. It was like 2/3 of our admin team played in Iron to Gold, right? So running the Eye to Gold games itself was very limited between the staff. I think it was like 3 or 4 staff that could do Iron to Gold, and it did end up burning out some stuff because you'd be sitting there on Mondays, like just grinding through the masses of information, just roster checking, all the basic stuff that's monotonous, but everything that needs to be done, that could take an hour and a half if you're doing it properly. And like, it just burnt you out. Like, it definitely burnt me out. I ended up not wanting to turn up because people would burn out. You'd be the only one rostered on. You'd be sitting in there by yourself trying to get shit done. And yeah, I don't know. It's hard to comment looking back now. If we had gone over it, I don't know, when we're going through the tournaments, would have had a lot more to say. But looking back now, yeah.
There was also a lot of disagreement on decisions that we made as well.
Definitely.
While I'm not sure about you, Pixie, but while Jepman and Limit Testing and myself had a fair bit of experience in hosting tournaments, there were a couple of admins that didn't necessarily have the same experience that we did. And I'm not going to say that we were right on 100% right on every decision. That's not what I'm saying at all. But that
Pretty close.
sometimes the logic behind some of the decisions that were made just didn't seem sound.
Yeah.
And when challenged, they would also take that to be like us personally going off at them,
Yeah, for sure.
which wasn't the case. We just wanted to figure out what was actually going on or why the decision was made, and if it was incorrect, how that can be rectified for next time.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
There was just a lot of that and just a lot of bickering going on between the admins. I'll admit I was part of that as well, but it was just unnecessary at the time, and it just took the morale of the whole admin team was just really, really bad.
Yeah.
It was just everyone turning on each other. Well, not everyone turning on each other. It was one group of people turning on another group of people.
And then definitely like posing it towards the later end of the tournament being run. If you wanted to affect change, there was a period there where Kusho would just pretty much just stand up, go, no, it's my face on the organization. I'm not doing that. Blah blah blah. And you're like, well, we're trying to make the place a better place, better things run smoother, and you just be in this fucking Great Wall of China and not moving.
And at the same time, he kind of forget that it was Ubi's org from the start. It was still Ubi's org.
Yeah, he was the one putting all the money into
But
it.
Ubi gave
regardless-
him control of everything.
Yeah, regardless of whose org it is, you got to be able to every now and then step back and go, what are my people telling me, and how can this like affect the org properly?
That's why I was always in favor of like putting things to a vote. But like when one person is control, if they're in like the losing side of the vote, like, and they
It's no
choose
longer-
not to comply, there's not much that everyone else can do.
It's no longer a
That's right.
democracy, and hence the point being, what's the point of other admins being there other than just doing the dirty work?
Yeah.
Like, he was never going to be there on the night, but yet he still proceeded to decide that his decision was the end-all and be-all of everything, despite it being 100% incorrect.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really know what happened with Kusho. If he ever comes back, I'm down to like game with the dude. I won't go into what happened with like our team specifically with him, but yeah.
Ah, that
I
was
don't
a good time.
I don't have anything against him. I hope he's doing all right.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to him. I kind of missed the guy. He was a funny guy from what I remember of him. He's kind of dropped off the face of the earth with not really telling anyone from what I could see. I think the only other thing that I want to add to this topic is I hope the ECB Twitter person found the cure to their itchy butthole.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I blocked that Twitter as soon as that shit started happening.
Yeah.
Don't know what the deal with that is. I don't even know
You
if it's
know who's got
Kusha that
that?
has. Okay, I can tell you. I can narrow it down to 4 people for you, but that's about as far as I can get. I'm not gonna
I'm
name the
pretty
4.
confident that I know who they are.
Honestly, same.
Just from what
But-
is being written on there, I'm pretty sure I know who it is.
I
And
mean,
it's not all one person either.
you reckon
It's
there's
not all one
multiple
person.
people?
Multiple people.
I reckon it's like at least 2, yeah.
Okay, this is some fucking conspiracy theory shit. Your two are probably like the 2 of the 4 that I could think of.
Yeah, they
For,
are.
like-
They are. They
I
are.
mean, I don't know how much you know, the ECB people actually value the Twitter account. Or whether ECB is ever going to be revived at some point in time.
It's kind of
Yeah.
in the Rip Republic state right now.
No,
Rip
the
Republic? You
ECB,
mean
like,
Rip Republic?
Rip Republic is still there and still usable if
It's
we
still
ever
there.
want
Is
to
it still
go back
called Rip
to it.
Republic?
It's still
Yeah,
called
it
Rip
is, yeah.
I
Republic.
think so. The ECB server got completely deleted.
Oh, it did too.
Yeah.
Yeah, someone
Yeah, it just went
deleted it.
boom. Yeah, I hope whoever has the itchy butthole finds the cure.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
rather concerning. They should go see a doctor.
True, probably.
Yeah.
Last week I also said we were going to talk about Pixie story. So Pixie, mate, how do
My
you,
story.
where do you want to start? Do you want to start with how you got into like these tournaments, I suppose?
I mean, yeah, like we can start there. There's no drama at all. So, like, I don't know, it probably goes back about 4 or 5 years now. I was originally playing PUBG, and PUBG tournaments run through, what was it called at the time? There was another website that it used to run through. Anyway, regardless,
Face it or
Oh,
like
was it
Major League?
Cybergamer? I think it might
Cybergate?
be
Yeah, that
Yeah,
is
okay.
right.
Anyway, so it ran through that, and then it eventually one of the tournaments was run through Battlefight. So and anyway, that's how I got into like the competitive side of things. And I started getting into League of Legends more prominently, like getting coaching, wanted to get better. So then I was like, the natural progression from that is to like go into the competitive scene. But initially, I joined up, I would say 2-3 years ago, with a group called the Dildo Rangers. Shout out to Pumba. Yeah, the Dildo Rangers, boy. Yeah, it was myself playing top, and it was what's his face, Pimpin in the jungle. It was Trash Can and Hobo in mid, and then it was Bobby Lang and Pumba in the bot lane.
Okay,
It
so
was,
it's the Kraken boys.
It was like mostly the Kraken boys, yeah.
You're right.
And then, so anyway, yeah. So we played with them for like a couple of months, and then Bobby Lang up and left the game and decided this was a shit game and he didn't want to play it anymore. Which, I mean, hey, whatever. And then I was sort of in a lull period, just like being a free agent for a couple months here and there. And then I saw a post from MCOM, I think it was, on the Sumsock page. I was like, yeah, fuck it, why not? I'll apply. Got picked up by their plat roster initially as a sub, and then their main guy couldn't play, so I ended up just playing on the main Jade Dragons roster. It was at the time. And then, yeah, so from there, what else? What did I do?
You got made a staff member?
I did. I got made a staff member because I was a chill dude and I was just hanging out in the server. It's a really good premise to hire your staff on, isn't it? Anyway, and then some shit happened in MCOM. I up and left because I was done with the way things were run. Then I moved on to adminning ECB for a little while there. I wasn't really playing, but I was just filling in for Jade Dragons every now and then because they were a cool bunch of dudes. And then I stopped playing, and then here I am. I guess. I don't think there's anything in between that, man. But yeah, like it was a pretty like natural progression, I guess.
Yeah, fair enough. But so was MCOM the start of like the league tourneys?
Yeah, I mean, the Dildo Rangers is technically were, yeah.
Okay,
But
okay.
yeah, I think we played. It was mostly Clash, and then we're like, fuck it, we'll do Battlefight tourneys, and then we weren't really around all that much, and we didn't put out the results. We got like first and second rounded. Actually, wait, there was another team in there. It was with fucking Goon Rat.
CHEZ?
Yeah.
Wait, you played for CHEZ?
I don't think I played for CHEZ. I played for Goon Rat.
Okay.
I don't think he was on CHEZ at the time, but it was fucking yeah. It was such a scuffed roster. Oh, like I can't even remember the roster, but like we got through to the finals on like 4 DQs one night.
Jesus.
It was just dumb. But yeah, that roster imploded because Goonrat never turned up to tournaments sometimes. But yeah. But that's about it as far as my memory goes.
Thanks, mate. That was a lovely story, honestly.
Oh,
Wait, hang on. You forgot one important bit. You got to talk about the day that you met me.
oh.
Like IRL
Yeah.
or
IRL.
No.
What
What?
event was it?
I
was.
didn't even know who you were.
wait, so you guys
I
haven't
was
met?
nobody at that point, right? I wasn't.
You-
I don't think
he
I was
was-
affiliated with BSV at that point.
Yes, you fucking were. Don't lie to me.
That was like 2018, right?
Uh,
What was it? The MEO or the
No,
League of Origin?
it was League of Origin. When I was pissed off my face
Where is the video?
on the OPL stream. Yeah.
Where is the Twitch clip? There isn't.
I will get a clip for Jepman. But
Alright.
this is
So
but yeah.
the story is Pixie is pissed off his face at the League of Origin finals.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Nick Boy.
Nick Boy picks him out of the crowd as a New South Wales supporter, and my friend Spiticus, who you guys probably have heard of. He's out there rocking the Victoria, and he's wearing a VB shirt. So Pixie's up against this girl from Victoria drawing. They were doing like a drawing contest.
Yeah,
Whoever drew the best thing.
We had
made,
we had to design a logo. Now,
that's right.
my drawing may or may not have been just the state of New South Wales with a ship coming in. But I totally forgot what I was meant to be drawing as soon as he said go. And all I could think about was like the colonization of Australia.
And not to mention my friend who supports Victoria wearing the VB shirt, Nick Boy got him to bend over and be Pixie's table that he could draw on. And he was constantly flicking up, sabotaging New South Wales.
Oh, where is it?
Oh god, the drawing was absolutely pathetic.
Do we have
You lost to it. You lost to the girl.
Do we have like a picture of these drawings?
There is video.
I will get the clip.
Okay.
We'll get the clip for you, Jep, and you can play it over this section
Alright,
to give
alright.
people some context. But holy crap, it was hilarious.
Thank
Yeah,
you
that's the
very
story of how I
much,
met
and,
Pixie.
What result are we excited about tonight? Yeah, I suppose a competition is probably a good thing. Now, I am here with two lucky people. Introduce yourselves, please. Aaron.
Jessica.
Aaron and Jessica. Now, Aaron is from the great state of New South Wales, and Jessica's from the great state of Victoria. Now, obviously, the teams, New South Wales and Victoria teams, already have logos. So we've got Poppy's Hammer, and we've got Vi's Gauntlet, but they're not very patriotic. So I thought that we could redesign the logos. So you're going to do a New South Wales logo, and you're going to do a Victoria one. I've got.
Oh, I've seen like the start of this before, at least.
Victoria. Can we get some
With you and
backs?
your chef's
Gentleman here in the
jersey.
VB
My
shirt.
chef's jersey.
I wonder
all
twitch.tv
very
/Spiticus.
exciting. Okay, you just
clip
sort
somewhere.
of like a table position, sort of bend that way, flatter, flatter, That's good. All right, so you can use that bit, and you can use the head and the shoulders area.
Videos.
Take a couple of textures. I'm going to give you
Featured
60
clips.
seconds to design the most patriotic,
See all
state
popular
patriotic
clips.
logo you can think of. Your
Oh,
time's
so
up.
is this Spiticus that's
Right
bent
now, go.
over?
Of course,
Yes.
Okay.
What timestamp is it?
goodies
3
for you
hours
guys.
30.
Look,
Oh,
here's
3
what I
hours 30.
appreciate. Jessica is working very hard to
Why are you doing on the head,
make what
mate?
appears to be Doritos, and
Did I get a choice?
There's a lot of head movement. Is
I don't
this
know why I
steak
took 2
sabotage?
markers. I only
Listen,
used
Greenie,
1.
stay still. Look, use me. Come on, brother. No. Use a fellow New South Walesian. Go, go, go. You got 30 seconds left. Draw faster. How
Is
dare
this
you?
state sabotage?
This man's been
Is
paid
he
by
a
Big
greenie?
Victoria.
Wait,
This
so
is
do we get to see
terrible, by the way,
Josh in
just
this
so
clip
you
as
have
well, or
a shot.
nah?
It's not really
No,
good.
I was sitting in the row.
Oh, it's suddenly you put a circle around it. Suddenly it all makes
just
sense.
where
Okay, we got 10
Where's
seconds left.
Spiticus
10,
being
9,
paid by
we're gonna
Victor.
count down. 8,
No, I was
7,
sitting in the
6,
row just
5,
directly
4,
behind
3,
Spiticus.
2, 1,
Okay.
time up. All right. I'm gonna give home field advantage. So first up,
Yeah, New South Wales, bro.
field advantage. Where do you think you are? Don't
What do we
answer.
think of the State of Origin the other night, by the way?
Fairy bread because that's just. I'm gonna say it's Victoria.
Do you, any of you guys watch that? Nah?
We drew an
No footy
Australian
fans?
Of course I
plate
fucking
to
did.
set up cool because-
Stripping.
Yep.
I didn't watch it, but
Tommy Turbo is an absolute beast.
what was the result?
I tried to put the lid on the wrong side.
I think it was like 50-4 or something,
50 to
right?
6.
Oh shit, who won?
56.
All right, excellent
New
work.
South
Andrew.
Wales, bro.
New South Wales,
Oh, man.
friggin' landslide.
And isn't it normally Queensland dominating the first two, game one, and then
It should have been because they've got the first 2 games in their state because of what's happening down in Melbourne at the moment with all the COVID shit. It was supposed to be played down in Melbourne, the first game, but since all the COVID shit, it got moved to Townsville, despite the fact that it probably should get played in Canberra because it's a neutral state, but
Can we get a round
another
of
day.
applause
Well,
for Aaron's
yeah.
drawing?
got moved to there because it's got a nice brand new stadium. They gave
And a round of applause
NRL
for
$8 million for it to go up there. They get up there, crowd as maroon as the eye can see,
Sorry, mate, the people have spoken. Jessica, congratulations.
and then they lose 50 to
6.
6.
Well done.
Bloody
Aaron,
brilliant.
You don't go away empty-handed. You get an
Damn.
enormous mouse pad.
Best game of
And we are
Origin I've
going
ever
to
seen.
throw it back right now to the
Not biased
analyst
still.
desk.
Thank you very much, Nick, for
Um,
what was.
When Goonrat got brought up earlier, it actually gave me no idea for a question. In the future, if CHEZ were to do some form of apology, do you ever see them returning to BSV?
is this CHEZ?
CHEZ, yeah.
I don't foresee them coming back anytime soon.
Yeah.
I just, you know, it's lately like I have been. Oh, sorry, I get this. You know, I've been trying. I think I've been trying too hard to make everyone happy, and that's just been a falling down on myself. So, you know, I've been trying to work on that a bit, and just with things like that, it's wrong. And what really sunk into me was the whole NV CHEZ thing. It just wasn't right. So, you know, I had to do something about it, and you know, I felt it was necessary to. Whilst all the players didn't necessarily get involved in it, they were associated with people who were, and it just wasn't right. So, to me, they didn't do enough about it to stop it. And whenever, you know, we told them not to, someone had to ruin it for them. So they're all paying the price for it. But yeah, I don't think they're going to come back.
Yeah, okay.
I don't think so.
Um,
The way they acted afterwards as well was just immature and just, yeah, not for that. Over the drama now, and I just, you know, just want to enjoy my week without having to deal with constant issues. So
Nah, you're a tournament admin. You don't get that. Sorry.
I know I get
You're
abused on the
telling me
week.
you don't get
They've-
rights.
We get abused over the weekly just to give you guys an event you can enjoy. It's all good.
Working for free.
Working for free, funding events.
It's great, isn't it?
It's great. But I enjoy doing it, so that's why I do it.
Yeah. Look, I think some of us are probably considered some of like, I don't know, the more toxic players in the community or whatever, but I'm glad that our group has at least settled down from what it was years ago when one person would shit talk AGC and then straight away there'd be like 4 teams of people just like shit talking whoever shit talked us. And it was a bit of a mess back then where we had
I don't remember
AGC
AGC, because I think AGC was before my time. I think I was sort of came into it when LLC was sort of fading out. And
Also, when Rift Republic was a thing.
yeah, so I didn't have too much to do with them because I just started off, doing social media for BSV. Well, really, but that's where I started. And then I sort of naturally drafted towards tournaments. And then when I eventually got MBN, I learned how to broadcast. Yeah.
Going off that actually, so like Twitch is basically the main like content sort of thing for BSV, and you guys have a bit of a Twitter presence that I see every now and then as well. Are you guys interested in like doing anything else? Like I think I saw some of the VODs uploaded to YouTube's their YouTube or whatever you call it, but I don't know. Do you guys like have any other ideas or like for content?
I think we're gonna upload all of our games that we do, or we try to whenever I get free time, because it takes a while to process the VOD through Twitch and download it and then upload it again. I would use the export to YouTube function from Twitch, but that doesn't work. So yeah, it takes a while, but whenever I get time, I try to upload the VODs so people can watch the games whenever they want, if they need to again. For other content, there's some things that we're thinking about, but nothing too solid at the moment. Ideally, we'd like to get a YouTube more active. I think it's a good place to have a presence on. So I do think we need to be using it more than we are. But at the moment, it's just mainly there for uploading the tournament, this circuit games, and whatever else happens beyond that.
Yeah, fair enough. I just tried to search for the YouTube, but it's found apparently you guys have like a Bitcoin or whatever. I don't know. I searched
YouTube.com/BSV Live.
Yeah, okay. I just searched BSV and apparently it's like
BSV is
some
also
sort
a
of-
cryptocurrency, yes.
yeah. Okay, BSV Live. Yeah, I found it.
If you see like 2 people, like a guy and a girl, you're on the wrong one. There's a BSV Space Live. I have no idea what that is.
You know, I got the one with Cooper and Seiko on it now. Yeah, I see.
Yeah. But I think Twitter's the other one that we're largely focusing on because everyone knows Twitter's the home for esports. Facebook isn't really, it's more of a socializing thing. But for esports content, I think Twitter is the go-to. So that's, I think, if anything, that's the one that we're going to be focusing on the most.
Yeah, I think that's probably the way to go. I don't think a group like Sumsock's Facebook group is replicatable.
No, and look, if we had access to that, I mean, I used to be a part of their team. They are extremely lucky to have something like that. I do think it is not being utilized as best it could because there's like 12,000 members in there. just I think 100 people in there, right? Refer their friend that plays League that joins the server. And then their friend that refers their friend refers someone else. Like it has potential for massive growth, like absolutely massive growth in OCE. It's just a shame that it hasn't absorbed majority of the market yet. I think if we had access to something like that, I would be running it totally differently.
Fair enough. How so? Do you think?
I would try to do other things that are a lot more engaging. I know people post like a lot of memes and things in there. One thing I've always wanted to do is I've had the idea of setting up like BSV esports teams, So you know how you've got like all your MComs, your TVH, those types of orgs. I wanted to, if I had access to a membership base like that, I'd be trying to create, teams and just communities that share a common interest. Like everyone comes here because they like League of Legends, right? We all play the same game. I try to grow the community through tournaments and events, and that if that's providing the facility for someone to join a team, find a team, create a team, and then ultimately get to experience the process of finding scrims, finding tournaments to play in. That's what I would do. There's a few other things, but that's a big thing for me. If I could do that, I would probably do that.
I mean, we've covered pretty much everything, right? Except I haven't done the week 4 predictions yet. Did you guys write down your week 4 predictions?
I did. I thought it was a tier list, and someone corrected me.
No, I think I'll sit out this week. I don't really have time to watch any of the games that much.
Alright, well, fair enough. So, we all bet on Resilience to beat Weekend, except Josh. Josh has faith in our academy team to get the dub for once.
Once?
Okay, well,
It sounds like you don't have much faith in your own org.
I said that they would win the other game against South Asian Hate, actually.
Nova, if you're watching this video, you might want to bench Jepman.
But G-Bear has bet on Academy like every week, and he's also done the punishment every week, so...
Because... wait, so does this mean if I lose the prediction, I have to do a punishment?
You can if you... No, wait, I didn't make you sign up for that.
What is the punishment?
I don't actually know yet, I'm waiting for Jacob, so... When Jacob tells me what the punishment is, if you do have bad pick'ems and you want to do the punishment, you can. Otherwise, one of the rest of us will do it.
They're gonna do it. No, I think Weekend Warriors have a lot more to give. I think we're still yet to see some upsets, and upsets can happen. Games can flip at at a moment's notice. Someone makes a mistake, other team capitalizes on it. Hopefully, I think they can do it.
Yeah. We all had Kraken over Corbap, and then TNS error was 50-50 split. I think that should be a pretty good game. Honestly, I think it'll be very close.
It's gonna be a close game. So.
I think it also largely depends on who TNS decides to run that night. Because I really don't know who they plan to use. But I think if they use the players that I'm thinking about, then like Arcanic, Vigi. I don't know if Arcanic's playing, but Arcanic, Vigi, those guys, then I think they're in with a fairly good chance. Era's looking pretty strong, 6-0 at the moment.
Yeah.
So they're gonna have to work for it, but it's not impossible.
Has TNS been changing their roster? I know that they had to use like a sub support one week.
I don't know. I haven't been following that too much.
Yeah. Okay. 3 of us had Stop Asian Hate. Josh has predicted MCOM. I respect that. I love if it's Razy jungle, I hope that game is streamed. I'm a big fan of Razy's.
Razy's playing jungle.
He played like not this week, but the week before because Hydrate couldn't play, I guess. And Razy.
I guess the reason I
carried.
the reason I pick MCOM is I've been watching them throughout a few tournaments, and they've actually been, they've significantly improved their rosters over the last few months. They've constantly been pushing finals in a majority of tournaments they play. They may not win all of them, but they definitely finish up in the top 3, top 4 for a majority of tournaments that I've looked at. So I think they're improving a lot. I reckon they can do it.
Yeah, I think they're, besides Academy, I think they're one of like the only like full platinum rosters. I don't think they have a diamond on there.
Who plays on Stop Asian Hate? That's
so that's Jacob, Griff, Houdini, Neymar, and Proa.
Yeah, so that's a pretty solid team as well. Someone thought that Gryffindor was the real Griff was actually playing in Div3 the other night, and someone complaining that Griff is Smurfy.
Oh yeah.
It's not Griff. It's not Griff.
No, we did put him on Ari as well. We didn't say the story about Ari, did we? You want to tell why was Michael playing Ari on that game, Pixie?
Why was Michael playing Ari?
Well, Michael was playing Ari because Jacob decided to say pick Ari, pick Ari, pick Ari, not realizing we had Michael mid. Now
instead of G-Bear, who's an Ari player.
Instead of G-Bear, who's arguably one of the best Ari one tricks on the server.
One tricks.
Pretty accurate.
One tricks.
Well, it's either Arya or Akali for G-Bear, really. And...
Yeah, and it just depends on whether he goes 0-10 that night.
Oh God.
Alright, so we all had...
Why didn't he pull out the Master Yi?
Yeah, we could have done the Master Yi mid, or something, but yeah, I don't know. Well, we were sort of like not too focused on champ select that night, I think. We could have done a lot of stuff better, gameplay and draft wise.
Yeah, I think that's Div 3. We were talking about Div 2.
Yeah, so Ronolod aren't a thing anymore. So Cerberus win that game. I guess they just get a bye.
Yeah, because Ronolod's pulled out unless someone gets bumped up or the old Storm Wolves people take the slot, which I don't know that they will. Then Cerberus insta wins.
Oh well, did they give a reason to you guys for pulling out? Like I know that they were like FFing, or they played like one game at least, right? In the tournament.
I think they played 1 or 2 games, but as for the reason, I am not sure.
Fair enough. We all have TNS over Corbap. TNS probably like one of the top teams, yeah. And Academy versus Stop Asian Hate. We've gone 50-50. Look, I think it's probably Stop Asian Hate favoured currently, but I'm hoping Academy can pull it through. They play together a lot, and I have faith in Nova to set up the draft well for them. Unless Banished is drafting for Stop Asian Hate, then it's just doomed.
Weekend Warriors have got a solid infrastructure in that org, so they've got all the tools and resources they need to make it work.
Yeah, but half a Stop Asian Hate and Weekend Warriors as well, with like Neymar and Jacob. So
yeah, I guess
it'll be hard. It'll be hard, but no, the new Academy roster is actually like pretty good. Their games have been actually really close. They like get super close to winning, and then they just like can't end, I guess, or they make one mistake and the other team just end. It's sort of like most of our games, I suppose.
Yeah,
very familiar.
Yeah, as they were pointing out in the weekend of Discord, I don't think we've taken a game off them in scrims, at least off the new roster.
No, I mean that's to be expected when they're technically a higher ranked
Oh.
roster than us.
Yeah, but it would have been nice to take a game off them, okay? We took some games off the other academy team.
Oh, we did too, yeah.
MCOM Kraken. I think that game should be a pretty close one actually as well. Yeah, I haven't watched a lot of Kraken's games, but MCOM play well as a unit for their ranks at least.
That's why I picked them.
Aaron Cerberus, I definitely think it is error favored, despite Cerberus having strong players. Those players also have like very blatant weaknesses, being champion pool, and then Resilience Ronolod, I guess, is a buy for Resilience again. Then
Free win for Resilience.
Evict and Go-Gurt. I was 50-50 on this, but everyone else has gone Evict. What do you guys reckon? You reckon this one will be a close one?
Well, where are they both on the circuit? Let's have a look. Evicting. So, Go-Gurt's 0-6. Evict's 1-5 at the moment. So purely off stats.
Who did they get their win against? Oh, wait, it was probably Stormwolves, right? Last week?
Oh, I don't know.
I think it must have been. I think this should be a pretty close game. And then we got Defiance and Stormwolves Academy, which, like, I don't know. Josh thinks Stormwolves. We've all gone Defiance. I think it's really hard to tell what rosters they will use.
Yeah, I think if Stormwolves can get their rosters together, I reckon. Oh, it'll be. It'll be close, but it's not impossible. You just got to play around bot side and make sure the Defiance bot lane doesn't get ahead. Otherwise, if the Defiance bot lane gets ahead, as we've seen throughout the circuit so far, they'll just snowball, and then it's a game over.
Yeah, I mean, they could attempt to do the complete opposite and play around mid-top and like try to snowball 2 lanes versus 1 snowball lane and see how that goes as well. I don't really know what the new Stormwolves, like I don't know who the carry players are on the new Stormwolves, but I don't think it's their bot lane if it's Genzo or Arcane. Not that they're not good players, but yeah, I don't know. Anyway, who else we're up to? Basically Challenger, Evict. We've all gone basically Challenger. Kraken below 0. Josh, you reckon below 0 can pull it out against Kraken? Arguably the number 1 team, at least according to Envy.
He reckons below 0 is the number 1 team.
No, he reckons Kraken's the number 1 team.
No, he reckons Kraken's the team that he left.
Was he a part of that? Oh, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, he was a sub for them. I don't think he played. I don't really know both of the rosters of these teams, but I'm just thinking let's have a feeling below 0 will win. I think they'll be able to get it done.
Fair enough, fair enough. Look, I started a bit of banter with Kraken before our game, and I definitely know that at least one of them saw it, but all banter and jokes aside, Kraken are a pretty solid team. They did sort of stomp us in our game against them. So, I gotta give that one to the Kraken boys. We all got Galaxy Gaming beating Go-Gurt. We've got Blackhawks beating below 0. You think basically Challenger can beat Defiance? I respect that. Basically Challenger are like a decent team. Like I'd put them in the same boat as Kraken. Like they were both, no offense to them, but like sort of bottom tier underplat teams. But when they come into like Div3, which is a mixture of iron to plat, iron to gold, or whatever, they are at the top somewhere, I think.
So basically challenges bot lane recently changed. The bot lane for Defiance used to be the bot lane for basically Challenger, and those guys were doing pretty well, I think. Basically Challenger, even without their old bot lane, is a fairly solid team. I do think they can win, but they're gonna have to work for it.
Yeah, right. And
But
then
I think that they also do have the advantage of knowing who those people are and how they play, how they operate. So hopefully they use that information to their advantage.
yeah, I can't. Fuck. Who's basically challenges bot lane? That's not that donkey tooth dude, right? That's Kraken.
So basically, with their old bot lane,
No, their new bot lane.
I don't know their new
Yeah.
bot lane.
I think it's
But
donkey
hopefully
tooth
the
or
other players on
something.
the team of like Hido King and those guys, passed on the information from the outgoing bot lane to the new one and let them know how they play. So, look, hopefully they do use that info to win. But I reckon they can. It's not impossible.
Yeah. And then we got Kraken and Galaxy Gaming. Three of us went Kraken. Josh thinks Galaxy Gaming. I don't know. For that one, at least, I think Kraken definitely have the edge over Galaxy Gaming. I'm pretty sure we versed them already, right? I don't know if that was the games that I played or not. But
Galaxy.
yeah, did you guys play them week 1?
I think we played a week 1.
Yeah, okay. So I can't really comment on how they play, but Kraken are pretty strong. You
I
guys,
think I was on the edge with this one. So really, I'm still kind of 50-50. Really either or. So I hope that one gets streamed. Because I actually want to watch that one.
yeah, well, you guys are like trying to stream every team or something, I think,
I
right?
don't know the strategy. I think we're just trying. I don't know the strategy I wasn't involved in that bit, but I think they're trying to cycle through as many teams as possible, so we're not favoring like any one given team, like we did with the weekly events where there was no real structure to it. We just kind of picked like weekend warriors a lot, and whoever typically won or did really well in most of the weeks.
Yeah.
So I think it's good to get a bit of exposure for the other teams rather than just focusing on one. And at least it gives them some time to prepare and, prepare for being on stream as well, rather than last minute saying, "Hey, you're on stream now." Because I know some players struggle with that.
True. Well, we've covered all of that. So moving on, we got our Pisslo PIX. Who wants to start us off?
What's this?
So this is like,
Mundo.
so we just had a patch, right?
Yeah.
Like any champions that have been buffed or mainly buffed that you think we'll see in like Div 3 or Div 2 to be like a strong pick.
Well, you won't say Mundo for 2 weeks.
True.
Because it's
of the
a
rework.
fairly significant change. I had a look and I was thinking, what are we gonna do with it? If it's a small change, then it's nothing too big. But it looks like it's. I played it once. It feels really good. I did really bad on it, and Michael was flaming me for it. So, yeah, I think when Mundo's available, it'll be good.
Yeah, right. I was sitting top lane or jungle. What do you guys think?
Both.
flex. So yeah, it could be a both either.
Okay, okay.
I think we could also see it situationally in support as well. Just because of the reworked passive, like individual
Ooh.
champions like Leona,
Yeah.
like that as well. Like
Yeah.
Leona and Thresh not so much because he only gets the obviously the one stack, but like seeing like a Blitzcrank or maybe even like a Rel, like you can see it coming in, but I don't know. Wait and see.
So what's his new thing? Sorry, I haven't played it.
So Mundo's new passive is he goes where he pleases. Essentially, the first set of hard CC that hits him pops off like a little thing, like essentially like a poppy shield is the best way to describe it.
Okay.
And but essentially that first lot of hard CC doesn't actually connect, so he just like can walk in front of the Blitzhook essentially.
What, it has like a 30-second cooldown or something?
Yeah, it has this like it might be like it's pretty low, but when they pick up that little fucking syringe or whatever it is, it reduces the cooldown of it.
Okay.
It's kind of like Zach, where like you drop something and you pick it up to like give yourself
Yeah.
health. Like in this
And-
case, it sort of resets that cooldown a little bit.
Yeah, and the
Yeah.
opponents can stand on it to like get rid of it.
Same as like Zach again.
Alright. So Josh and Pixie both said Mundo. What do you think? Limit? Yeah,
Yeah, I think Mundo's strong, but I think a sleeper champ at the moment for top lane particularly is Jax. He has very few bad matchups at the moment, like especially with people playing stuff like Camille, Gwen, Irelia, all those champs he kind of just hard shits on. And the new Sundara change kind of gives him a better option into tanks now as well. So like you can go Triforce if you're playing against like normal fighter champs, but like if you are into like a pretty big front line, or for example you have to try and lane against like a Scion or something, where it gets to a point, usually it'll get to a point where like you don't actually deal damage anymore to him. He'll just sort of like sit on the tower and laugh at you while you hit him for like 50 damage. Thundera sort of changes that, and it means that like you will still chunk him even though he's got like a lot of armor, a lot of HP, whatever. So it gives you like another build option for him. Plus the fact that it's kind of overtuned at the moment makes it better than Triforce, I feel like, in most situations anyway. And then if you combine that with the proposed changes for next patch, with that new item coming in, Jax is, in my opinion, going to be best champ in the game. Because the way that item works scales so well with his ult passive
true.
and the general identity of the champion that I feel like he will just benefit the most off that. And then, like, I don't know, secondary might be like Yorick or something if they make it so that his ghouls are also buffed by that, but I don't actually know if it's working that way or not.
Yeah, so I definitely know the item that you're talking about. I don't know its name, but
Hull Breaker.
it looks really broken. There's no way that it goes to live with like the stats that it had on PvE
Yeah,
or
so
whatever.
it's 50 AD, 400 health, 150 health regen, plus you get like bonus 20 to 35 armor and MR if you're the
45.
only 45, sorry, if you're the only person like near you, like you don't have any teammates around, so you're split pushing obviously. You get bonus armor MR, plus you also grant that same bonus to minions.
No,
I
you
think it's
get
like-
it's nearby minions gain 60 to 135
Oh, there you go. Okay, so it's even
And-
more than that.
and 200% increased damage to towers. It's
Yeah.
a split. It's obviously a big split pusher item.
It's Banner of Command in a fucking overtuned shell.
Yeah, it's
Mm.
really crazy. I don't know why they're introducing this shit when they got rid of Banner, because like this is way more broken.
It's why they got rid of Banner.
Like, and because of the way it works as well, where it's only if you don't have teammates nearby. It means that you can't like bring a bunch of opponents there and like kind of nullify the effect. He will just have like a shitload of armor and MR against like 3 people, and he'll just 1v3 you.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's so it's so insane that they are introducing that item, and if it goes through the way that it is, Jax is going to be like S++ tier.
It'll get hot fixed if it does come
Has
through
to.
like it is. Yeah.
Yeah, it has to. They are introducing another item as well. It's a bit off topic, but
The support item, isn't it?
No, it's supposed to be a tank item, which is meant to do the opposite of what Hullbreaker does. So Hullbreaker is meant to be like the split push item. This item that they're also bringing in for tanks is kind of like the item to counter that, where essentially what it does is it's like a reverse Knight's Vow. So you mark an enemy, and that enemy you take like a reduced damage from them for like the duration of the mark. Plus it gives
Okay.
you like a bunch of like bonus stats as well. They haven't
It's
released.
exhausting an item.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've seen that one.
essentially. They haven't released like the numbers and stuff of it yet, but when they announced the Hullbreaker one, they also announced this tank item, and they were supposed to come out at the same time. I'm not sure if that's still the case or not.
Broken.
I think if that like goes through and it stays that way, then it's going to create a really dumb kind of environment top lane where you sort of either pick a split pusher or you just pick a tank and like you basically go your mythic item and then you either get Hullbreaker or this tank item and essentially like that's your build.
Are either of these items on the PvE yet?
Yeah.
I think the Hullbreaker one is. I don't
Hullbreaker
know
one
about-
is, yeah.
I don't know about the tank one. I'd assume not, considering there's nothing about it yet.
No, not yet.
I'll have to see if I can get on the PvE again.
So I imagine that it may not even be next patch. It might be like a patch later.
Yeah.
But yeah, once when that comes out, like yeah, split push champ's going to be really strong, and I think Jax is the strongest split push champ at the moment because of the way that he sort of interacts with all the other split push champs like Camille, Fiora, etc. I think Jax just beats them all.
Does this item bring back Int Scion?
No,
What do you mean bring back? It never left.
I mean it maybe can, but like I don't think it really works that well.
Yeah,
Because-
inting Scion doesn't really work anymore. Like
Nah.
it's just it's not like to the build. Like the build's fine. It's
The
just
way-
it's the meta at the moment.
Yeah, the snowball, the way that the game works now with snowballing is like it's not feasible. Like you just int your laner and then your laner will just carry. Like it doesn't matter if you're top lane hitting towers, he's like killing
It'll
your whole
just
team.
kill everyone. Yeah.
Yeah. And there's a lot more like power and objectives now as well. So like you might get like an inhib tower, but like if they get Dragon Soul, it doesn't fucking matter.
Hmm.
So like
But you
yeah.
see, then your team buys that other new item you're talking about, and completely nullifies that top laner that you've just fed.
Yeah, but then like you got 4 people buying like a random tank item.
Yeah. They're not the
like-
stats you want.
Yeah, like I don't know, like I wouldn't be buying that shit on a native carry or a mid laner, like you're just inting, I feel like. I mean, there might be some cases, like maybe Cogmore can do it, because like they're already doing like some weird Frostfire shit, right?
Wait, why would 4 people buy it though?
Didn't you say your whole team would buy it?
Okay,
No?
clarify. Someone else would buy it on the team.
Oh, okay. I mean, yeah, they could, but then like it's only one person that gets the reduced damage, and it's likely going to be like a tank in that case. So like, it's not going to.
Okay, maybe I'm misunderstanding the item.
Yeah, so the item itself, it reduces the damage to you from the target.
Okay, so it's not exhaust in
no,
an
well,
item.
no. So I misunderstood what he said. Like, no, it's exhaust if all we're talking about is like the damage to you.
And it's only for a limited amount of time, right?
I don't think so.
Okay, so
That's why
it's as long as you have that person marked.
Yeah, that's why it's insane.
So is it like... what are the stats, do you know? Is it like a tank item?
No, they haven't. They said it would be a tank item. They haven't said like what it would be, what the stats are going to be like. But I assume it'd be similar to the Bruiser one, where it'd give a similar amount of health, maybe slightly more. And instead of all the AD it gives, it'd just be like bonus resistances of some kind, and probably ability haste, because that's usually what they give tanks.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I don't know how that item will really be used.
Yeah, I don't either really. I haven't seen enough about it. I just saw the one like Riot post they did when they sort of were talking about both of them, and then I saw the Hullbreaker one come out like I think a few days ago. So I assumed that the other one's in the works. Otherwise, they wouldn't have released the other one because they're designed to come out like together. Otherwise, it's sort of giving one role it's way too much power. Like
Yeah.
it would just make top lane a split push meta, and essentially it would just be whoever gets to that item first would just win.
Well, going back to
Because,
this patch... No, wait, no, go on, sorry.
No, I was finished, sorry, Josh. Yeah, yeah,
Okay. I don't know, if it... Alright, my Pisslo pick would be Malphite. There's been a few jungle changes, but I think the only one, like, actually worth looking at would be the Malphite W, and if that helps his clear speed enough, I think he could be an alright jungler, honestly.
Have you tested the Nautilus jungle buffs?
Yeah, I've been playing him a bit. I think I had him banned against me twice on BSV, I think, but I don't know if that was aimed at me or
Do you think it's
support.
good? Because I've heard the clear is actually insane. It's like 315 with no leash.
I think it's pretty good, yeah. I think there's champs that are good into it, but I think it's like a generally good pick.
Wait,
But
you don't think the Hecarim
no,
nerf revert is big?
it's not a nerf revert, right? It's bonus AD, so you have to build AD on
It's
him for
bonus AD, and they've also reverted the nerf to his
the
armor.
armor.
It was the base
Yeah.
AD nerf that fucked him.
I don't think this does much unless you're doing like squishy AD burst Hecarim build or some shit.
Yeah, but I think the reason he was strong is because like he could go like chem tank and not get punished. But like now he does because he doesn't have his high base stats anymore, so he has to actually index into AD. But like if he builds AD, then he's squishy and easy to deal with. So it's just healthier for the game.
Yeah, I think both the Jarvan and the Rammus buffs are probably better than that buff.
I'm still reading through the patch.
But I don't know, Malphite's the only champ out of those that I could see being played. Otherwise, I think Cho'Gath jungle is a really underrated pick that most Div 3 teams should at least try to pick up, I think. It gives you a bunch of objective control. His clear's fairly slow, but he's just going to be a massive tank CC bot in the late game. And he out-tanks like the current tanky junglers like Udyr and Sejuani or whatever you want to play. Zach. Yeah, what do you think, Andrew? What's your pick? Give us a pick, mate.
Shit.
Vel'Koz.
Nah. He's such a garbage champ now. Relative to everyone else, his shit's too easy to dodge nowadays.
Yeah.
Draven,
Yeah.
why the fuck not?
Draven, okay. What did he get?
He
Bonus
got
damage.
buffed to his Q.
Yeah,
Spinning
okay.
axe does more damage, although it's not that much actually.
Actually, from what I've been seeing in stream, a lot of like the high elo, you got what? It's pretty high.
Oh, who was it that ran Draven top?
SRO did it.
Yeah, absolutely crapped on. I think it was a Camille.
I mean, yeah. Camille can't do anything with that matchup.
Sure. Okay, Draven top it is then.
I'm not learning it yet. Like, you know me, I can't right click, man.
Fair enough, mate. Fair enough. You
Most
can...
of the top's viable. You can do that.
I can't right click.
Pixie has enough champs that he needs to learn as is, alright? Don't give more to his list, mate.
Fuck you, dude.
Is there anything else that you guys want to talk about? I think we've pretty much covered everything tonight, yeah?
Yeah,
I think so.
Is Ziggs back in the meta? Was his buff?
I've been told the alt, what was it, like the move time or whatever is pretty good. But
Yeah, the
I don't
missile
know.
speed is slightly better. It's a minimum 1.2 second travel time, so it's slightly quicker, but it moves across the map a lot faster.
Yeah, I mean, it makes it easy to hit. I don't know if he, like, and the Q got like 20 damage or something as well, so
Yeah, 20 damage at level 5.
could be good. I remember versing Hirogi's Ziggs and it was sort of a nightmare.
Yeah, we couldn't get on him ever. If I didn't have flash, we just couldn't fight him. It was fucked.
Alright, well, before we finish the episode, is there anything that you wanted to shout out, Josh?
No, nothing in particular.
Okay. Well, check out True Haven, guys. Coaching, good. Galaxy Bear's
If you're
there
looking
now.
to- Galaxy Bear just finished his session. He said it went really well.
Oh, that's good.
So hopefully he doesn't demote further into the depths of silver.
We can only hope and pray.
If he does, at
Hoping-
least I'm still higher rank, so I don't mind.
Are you actually a higher rank than him at the moment?
Holy
I actually
shit.
am, yeah.
But if anyone's serious about getting some League of Legends coaching, these guys are.
Yeah.
He's a great EU coach. Previously, Grandmaster has success. Some amateur, semi-professional Swedish team in the Swedish league. I just got promoted to the top tier of that Division 1 of that. You know, a lot of people in OCE, BSV, I think, have benefited a lot from it. So,
Yeah, I'll vouch for him as well. I've done a
ask for
special.
any of the guys here for the link, and we can get you in.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'll
Dark's
chuck
is pretty
the.
solid.
I'll put the server in the description of the video, along with anything else that you guys want. Yeah. Anyone else have anything to say before we finish?
No, not really. Join
Alright.
the Inhouses.
Yeah, idiots. Alright, well,
Yeah.
thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. Hope you all have a good one, and we'll catch you later.